Hey, I'm Isabel,
And I'm Aviva. You're listening to When Isabel Met Aviva,
a podcast about rom-coms, female-driven screenwriting, and how to break into the entertainment industry. Well, welcome to the podcast. Should we say Kat, or do you want your professional name out there?
Kat's fine. I go by Kat in every sense except for my name's in the credit.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, how is it spelled at the credits?
Yeah, it's my full name, but everyone calls me Kat.
Awesome. Welcome. It's so nice to meet you. It's exciting that we finally have someone from the major rom-com show that we collectively know.
Yeah.
It's also fun. I don't know that we've had an editor on our podcast.
We've never had an editor, so this is really exciting. And I should say nobody wants this, I'm sure that will be in the title. That's the show we're talking about. But yeah, how did you get into editing? Yeah, do you want to tell us your story?
So I tell everyone this and they don't really believe me, but I've known since I was little that I wanted to do something in the film world. I used to steal, I would be, I want to say 8 to 9, and I would steal my mom's old camcorder that literally was this big and take it down the street and make movies with all the kids in the cul-de-sac, and then I'd take it home and try to edit the footage, which it was just
me edit on at that time.
Literally me on the camcorder being deleting little things because that's all I knew how to do. And computers were still kind of not unless you had a lot of money, didn't really have computers in your house until I was a little bit older. Mm-hmm. I remember we got our first family computer, and that was a huge thing.
Yeah, everyone shared one computer.
Yeah,
that's also wild.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm not that old, but it still was very weird to have your own computer or software or things like that. So, so I would do that, and then I was fortunate enough the public schools that I went to. I went to 2 different public schools, and both had film, media, TV classes where you could do hands-on experience. One of my high schools had a TV studio. It was the local studio, but the class was inside that studio. So we had access to laptops with the editing software, and we would run a full TV program through the studio. It was really cool, and I feel very fortunate, but it just solidified that I wanted to do post-production for sure. Mm-hmm. And my high school teacher, TV teacher, she went to Emerson and was really, I talked to her about going to Emerson, thinking this is what I want to do. And she's like, you should apply. Got into Emerson and just could do post-production specifically. And that's what I did. And got my degree from Emerson and was like, I'm going to move to LA and make TV, hopefully.
When you were at Emerson, was all of your editing classes and experience specifically in television, or did you do any film stuff at all? So
I could have, but I knew the way of the new world was not going to be film editing. I knew it was going to all be digital. So I didn't take any film classes, mostly because I knew that would have been a cool class to take, but not necessarily anything I needed to know.
Yeah,
because it wasn't really how things are done anymore. So I did only digital, but I did take a motion graphics class to try to add that skill to my template. But it was cool, because Emerson had studios you could rent out to do full sound editing, to do all the editing you wanted to do with Avid, or I think they had Final Cut still at the time, but I think they also had Premiere. But yeah, just being able to, have your hands on all this equipment and all this software that I don't know other schools had that, if they had that or had as many options. So feel very fortunate. And then moved out to LA to try to find a job. Thankfully, my boyfriend at the time who I met at Emerson was from LA. His mom let us live with her. Nice. Thank God, because I don't know how people do it when you don't have a job, don't have any money. He is now my husband, so it worked out.
Oh, good. I was like, oh no, they broke up.
No. He was my boyfriend at the time and is now my husband. But yeah, it really was 2 months of me really just trying to find a job. It's really hard when you're out here and you don't really know where to start, and try to use all the networking. I got my job through someone I knew from Emerson who was working at a post house, and they had a PA position open up, and he's like, hey, I can give your resume to, you know, the manager here. Ended up getting that job, worked at that post house as a PA for a year, got moved up as an online assistant editor, which is different than an offline assistant editor.
Oh, interesting.
Online assistant editors handle, so a show does their offline editing process. Then what they'll do is like turn over a timeline for color and for VFX and all that stuff. So I was receiving those materials and prepping that material for the colorist or the online editor.
Okay.
So that's the only difference. It's less creative and more technical.
Okay.
So it's not exactly what I wanted to do, but I was like, you know what? I'm getting promoted from making $12.50 an hour, which how did we live on $12.50 an hour? To making a little bit more money and learning a new skill, which I'm never going to shy away from learning a new skill that I think could potentially be useful. I did that for about 2 years and I was like, this isn't where I want to be. I need to start to figure out, like, I know I really wanted to work in scripted television. That was always my goal. I loved TV growing up, loved comedies, and was like, that's really where I want to be. So I was like, how do I make this happen? And one of my friends who was at this company left, and she was like, hey, we have this AE position open, an assistant editor position open, offline assistant editor position that is union. And if we hire you, you get in the union easily, which is one of the biggest things to do, is getting into the union is really, really hard. Because usually you have to work amount of hours, submit those to the union for them to approve that those hours go toward the union. So getting this job just got me into the union, which was huge. So I took it, but it was in movie trailers.
Which very rom-com.
Yeah, and I was like,
the holiday.
Again, something I haven't done. Why not try it? Why not add this skill? Gets me in the union. It's a raise. So I left that post house that I started at this movie trailer company to get in the union. Was there until 2020. I got laid off in COVID, as a lot of people did. And I think, honestly, best thing that could have happened to me, because I was like, I was at the point at that place where I was like in between getting bumped up to editor and staying an assistant editor. And I don't think I was going to leave. And I don't think that they were really going to promote me. It was like it was just weird. And I think I needed to get out of there. So I was lucky enough. I found jobs pretty easily and didn't really have a gap in working during COVID, which was, I know everyone wasn't fortunate enough to do that. So ended up taking another job at a different trailer company for about a year. And then a friend of a friend was like, hey, I know this editor who is looking for an assistant editor for scripted television. He is willing to take someone who has never worked on scripted television because he can't find an AE. And I highly recommended you. Do you want? I was like, absolutely. Put me in contact. Let me talk to him. This editor was great. And he was like, yeah, you seem like you know what to do. And he was recently an assistant editor who moved up, and he's like, if you need help, I can walk you through it. No problem. Please ask questions. I still work with that editor today. So the show I got to work on with him was Chad, which was the second season of Chad, which didn't really end up airing. We completely finished it.
Like football thing?
No, that's Chad Powers.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one. This one was Nassim Pedra playing like a 14-year-old Persian boy.
Oh, okay. Very different than what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's actually, honestly, so like my mom is Middle Eastern, so it was really cool like working on that as my first show, because of like it's this Persian boy trying to find his way like from a very Persian family in like the United States, and like so it was really cool to like see that cultural side of it. People didn't like it because they didn't like Nassim Pedra playing a boy, and they thought it was like some woke propaganda. And if you look on IMDb at just the reviews, it's just like, why is she playing a boy? I'm like,
people leave IMDb reviews.
It's bad. It has like a 3 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh my god, that's harsh.
I'm like, did any of you watch SNL? Like people play it's a character. Like
yeah. I'll have to check it out. Can I back up for a second? I want to hear how you got to other, but for movie trailers, I'm just like, I bet we're all wondering like about that process because
for sure.
Well, I used to consume so many more trailers. Like that was like an activity was I would just like watch trailers like on Apple trailers.
I used to love going to the movies early too to see the trailers, but now that it's like 30 minutes of trailers,
now I feel like that energy is so different. Maybe also because they play like pharmaceutical commercials at like the movies now, and I'm like, what are we watching?
It's crazy,
But how does that work? And are you able to share like an example, like a like for a movie that you've done for a trailer or helped with?
For sure, yeah. Like so the trailer company I worked at, the first one, they did all like they had a big deal with Marvel. Like we did all the big like Thor Ragnarok trailers, like the Captain Marvel, like those were under lock and key that we didn't even get to access to the footage until like the day before. Like there was one AE who worked on that stuff. We did so many trailers. I'm trying to think. Like the Sonic trailer. I don't know if you guys remember the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer that they showed a preview and people freaked out about the animation. So then they had to go reanimate it. Like that was the whole thing.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
That trailer. So trailers is interesting. The marketing side of movies and TV is so stressful. Like for no reason, it feels like a little bit. Like I often said to people, like I was like, I'm so stressed out. You would think I'm like saving lives, but we're not saving lives. Like everything was like life or death. It felt like, and it was just not that serious. And at one point, everyone's like, "This is a hot rush. This is a hot rush." I was like, "If everything is a hot rush, then nothing is a hot rush because I can only do one thing at a time." I am one person, so it was very draining, but it was really cool to see like these trailers get made and like the reactions and like we got to see full movies before they came out.
Oh wow.
Like one of the first things
I was gonna ask, like, do they give you like just like here's the stuff we want in the trailer? Like is there some kind of like beat sheet or I guess you get to watch the whole movie?
Depends on the project too. Like we would get for some movies we'd get dailies before there was even a cut done. Like I remember the Creed 2 movie, we got the dailies as they were shooting it and the director wasn't allowed to do his cut yet. So we had to take the dailies and cut the movie for our editors so that they could just get a trailer started. So I would be cutting this movie that no one ever saw except for the editors.
Intense. And how many people are working on a trailer, like for a Marvel movie?
So usually there's like one editor per trailer, and sometimes there's like different versions of a trailer. So they'll pick, like a company will get access to a movie and they'll have like 3 different editors cut different like vibes. Like they'll give them a feeling or like a beat sheet, like you said, like things they want to hit and like different things. And then they'll pitch these 3 trailers and usually they pick one of those that they want to continue with. But yeah, I mean, usually it's one editor once they get going, one editor, and then there's a bunch of AEs who take turns. Like we weren't assigned to one specific editor. They'd be like, whoever is available can do this request. So for us, there was always a lot of movies and a lot of things going at once that you had to like juggle, which was fun, but also just a lot. The Sonic trailer ended up being like 90 versions. Like he cut 90 different versions of this trailer until they locked a version. They locked like version 60. Which is so they went backwards, but I was like, they wanted to see the versions, but that's how it would be sometimes.
Do you have to like sit in a room and watch all 90 versions? Like someone does that and then is like,
I mean, I don't know that 60. I don't know that we delivered every version. I think, like it was over months and months of doing this. Like they would send out a quick time to the client, be like, give us notes, and there would be notes, and then we would have to turn it over, which is like sending it out to like VFX or color and all that stuff. And we did that a few times for it, but overall it's it's not like every single one of those versions got turned over, if that makes sense.
I just feel like people have really strong opinions about trailers and
how
much to reveal and all of that.
I was gonna say, how do you I feel like it is like a hot like debate just of late of like, if I don't know, I do feel like often trailers give away the whole movie, and sometimes they do a good job where it's like, I feel like
they will tell you sometimes like you can't show this scene, or like you can't show like for the Thor Ragnarok movie, it was a big plot point that his eye was missing, but like they couldn't show that in the trailer because no one knew his eye was missing yet. So like I think there's literally shots where they use where his eye is like missing, but they had to like VFX his eye back in or something. Like it was like because they couldn't spoil that, but then it was like doesn't make sense later. But there's things like that. Yeah.
I was thinking our experience with trailer making is we've done table reads for the podcast, and Isabel's done a trailer and I've done a trailer for our little table reads, and it takes a really long time.
Yeah. And especially like, so it's the two of you and you have to collaborate and you both have to agree on things. But imagine like for a movie, do you know how many different people have a say and are involved in like trying to get that many people to agree on something?
Like
that's why there was 90 versions of that trailer, just trying to get everyone to agree.
That's so fascinating.
Yeah, that sounds like that would be so stressful because everyone's gonna have kind of a different opinion of like what type of music is playing. Yeah, like what scenes you're showing.
Like,
And the song of a trailer, if that's the note, you almost have to recut an entire trailer because you cut to the music so much in trailers. It's like the worst note an editor can get is like, let's change the song.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, the trailer like makes or breaks. Like a rom-com trailer for sure.
I have to say, this is kind of making me feel for whatever her name is in The Holiday. I feel like I'm starting to understand.
Amanda?
Yeah, like why she's so stressed and had her little esophagus
She's really stressed. That's so true.
It's real. I can't speak to this because I haven't worked in other marketing, but I imagine just marketing in general is stressful.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly competing against other companies and you want to make money, and it's just... I can't imagine it's easy.
Yeah. But yeah, we can get back to the scripted. So you were transitioning to scripted content.
Yeah.
And how did what shows did you work on, and how did that?
So the first show I worked on was Chad. That one was funny just because we finished it and then TBS decided to move away from scripted, so they scrapped it and decided not to air it even though the show was done.
That must be devastating.
I was like sad because it was my first scripted show and I was like, no one's gonna get to see this. Tubi eventually bought it and it was like on Tubi for like a month and then they took it off. So that show is just...
So it's not anywhere we can watch it now?
I don't think so.
Now I'm curious. I'm like, I want to see.
There's the first season, which I didn't work on, but the second season, maybe there's like a pirated version somewhere you can find. But then I went to work on the show Reboot.
I've seen that.
I loved working on that show. That show was hilarious. It was like everything I imagined, like what I wanted to work on. It was that show.
That's so fun.
Yeah. Then after Reboot, I worked on the finishing stages of this show called The Continental, which was on Peacock. It was a John Wick spinoff, which is...
I was gonna say, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, the one, like, I didn't ever think I would work on like this action show, but I was like, that's a job, I'll take it. And it was a really cool experience. I'm happy I got to do it, but definitely happy to get back to comedy. Jumped over to the second season of Loot after that.
I've seen that.
And then worked on the first season of Nobody Wants This, and then jumped on the third season of Loot. And now I just wrapped up the second season of Stick, which is the Owen Wilson golf comedy on
I've
Apple
seen
TV.
The trailer for that. Okay, I never saw that show, but yeah, very cool.
Yeah,
it's so fun that you got to work on some different types of shows too. It must be.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm curious to see how like your brain works for editing, like an action and like a comedy, and then like just because is Loot fully comedy, or is it also
it's very comedy.
I'm trying to remember what the like premise is of it. If it's like
it's basically like Melinda Gates, I think, is like the comparison, where it's this like billionaire who gets divorced from her
and she
husband, or he's like cheating on her and she finds out and she divorces him, and then she's like goes all in on her foundation, her nonprofit foundation, to find her purpose again.
Right. Okay.
So fun.
Maya Rudolph is the lead of that.
Yeah. I love
and
her.
For these types of shows, how many I've always been curious, like when it says like you're credited as like editing department or whatever, like how many people are in an editing team for a big show like that?
Yeah, so it really depends. A show that's like, so a show for scripted shows, single camera comedy shows, if it's like 10 episodes, usually you have 3 editors. Usually you need to have 3 editors. If you have 8, you can get away with 2 editors. And then if you're doing like a multicam sitcom kind of show, that's 1 editor. Like I know very well the editor who did the entire How I Met Your Mother. It was 1 editor. She did the entire series. Yeah.
That's crazy.
She did the entire series of How I Met Your Mother.
That was like a heavy editing show too, right? Because like they would always do like flashbacks and like cutbacks to different scenes and stuff. So.
Those shows are a beast. The multicam, just with like laugh tracks and all that. I actually sat in with her the other day because she's working on one, and I've never worked in that world, and I was like, kind of just want to see how this works. So but nobody wants this. They tried to get away. It was 10 episodes, which usually you need 3 editors for, especially if you have an aggressive like shoot and turnover like schedule to get it aired. And they only went with 2 editors. And by the like last 4 episodes, the editors were so backed up that me and the other assistant editor got bumped up to editor to edit episodes to help.
Because you got credited for a specific one in season 1, right? So
and that was like the first one where from start to finish I got to be an editor, and like thankfully the editor I've now worked with for all of those shows except for the Continental, I've worked with him on all of those. We've gotten like this really good where he'll give me the freedom to like cut, and then he'll watch it and he'll be like, this is great, or he'll be like, this is what I would change, or give me little tips. And for that one episode, it was very collaborative. Like he was like, I cut a lot of scenes, and then he would cut some scenes, and then we put it together, and he'd be like, okay, go ahead, do your first pass of like tightening this up. And I got to work directly with the director and make the changes in the director's session, and it was really, really fun.
I was gonna say, that sounds so fun. Like, so you edited like that whole episode, and then but you would have to do you go scene by scene, and then you kind of put it all together, like you're saying, or?
Yeah, so usually the process is like, we're working as they're shooting. So we'll get dailies every day when they're shooting for an episode. The assistant will go through, organize all the footage, put it in a script that's visible on Avid. So it's literally a script that's in Avid that you can then, there's lines and little dots, and you can click every little like marker, and you can see every single take that same line was said. So like you can see the same line, every angle, every delivery. So you can see all your options and kind of use that as your guide, which is great.
That's cool. All right. Are you able to, is an editor able to choose the take that you like most, or does the director tell you which take?
So the first process is cutting. Once you get all the footage, cutting them all together, making an assembly, then that gets turned into your editor's cut. So the editor gets the very first cut to make whatever decisions they want to make. A lot of times, like the script supervisor will circle takes that like a director says they like, or a producer says they like. And as an editor, you want to take that into consideration, because usually they'll want to go with that take. They don't do it for every take, but if they do make a note of like, I like this take, you try to use it. But the editor's cut goes out to the director. Director watches it. Director gives his passive notes or sits in with the editor to go through and make their cut. The director's cut goes to the producers. The producers then get to make their notes, make their changes. And once the producer's cut, usually there's a couple of those, that goes to the studio. Then the studio gets to make their notes.
The studio.
So a lot of eyes and a lot of like hooks, but the editor gets the very first one, and you kind of can't be precious about things. Like you can fight for something. If there's something you really believe in, you could you can fight for it a little bit, but it's a lot of the times it's like you can't be too precious. It's someone else's, brainchild, and you're there just to make their vision come true.
Yeah. Did you have to fight for the Olivia Rodrigo song that you put in?
I did, because I think originally the editor I work with, who was also the editor, he was like, it feels a little too on the nose, and I was like, hold on, let me get this instrumental, and you'll see it's not going to be too lyrically, but it will like help the vibe, and I feel like it works for the show. And he ended up liking it. So,
which Olivia song is it again?
It was Obsessed.
Oh, okay.
It's when she's like looking at the box of Rebecca's like things.
Stuff, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I feel like that was a great choice.
Olivia makes everything better.
Yeah, that's right. I love Olivia.
And it was funny because, you know, there's multiple edit teams and you're not always talking 100% during the process, especially when you're remote, you're not in office seeing the person, but they were using an Olivia Rodrigo song for their episode, the episode after. So there ended up being 2 Olivia Rodrigo songs like back to back.
And I assume you have like permission, like the music editor's already been like, you can select from these songs. Is that how it works?
It should work like that, right? Like we should really get these songs pre-approved. We'll like, again, something you can't be too precious about because budget is an issue, and like you need to make sure something can get cleared. Right. So we put it in there, and then we go to the like music supervisor, but like, can we clear this? Obviously, we do that a lot for the editor's cut and editor's cut. We'll keep the song we want in there, and then before it goes to the producers, we'll be like, sorry, someone was screaming.
We faintly heard it. So.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go to the music supervisor and just be like, hey, before the producers see this, we just want to make sure that this is clearable. Yeah. Make sure that we can actually use this. Or if we can't, like, or if it's too expensive, can you give us something in this vibe? Or this is the scene that we're using it for. We can send you a quick time. Give us some options for this scene. And a lot of times, some music supervisors will read the scripts. And if they read the scripts, like, hey, I have this batch of songs I just threw together for that could work for this scene. I don't know how it's going to come out, but sometimes it ends up being really great.
Yeah.
Like the finale of Reboot, there is this cover from Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. It's like this really stripped down acoustic cover.
Yeah.
And I remember the editor I work with, he sent like this vibe of what he was looking for, which was kind of in that vein. And then the music supervisor was like, I got you, here's this batch. And that song was in there and it was perfect. It was exactly. That's so awesome. It's great when things like that worked out. The very infamous song used in Nobody Wants This, the Francis and the Light song. The editor I work with cut that in, and the producers fell in love with it, and then we almost couldn't clear it.
Oh no.
So we were this close to not being able to clear it, and we ended up being able to, and it worked out. But that was one of those things where we put it in the he put it in the editor's cut, and we're like, maybe we should have gotten this approved sooner.
Yes, I've always wondered this about music with like, because I think we briefly talked about this when I saw you, how like Aviva and I are both very much people who like love to write to certain songs, and like we make Spotify playlists for our scripts, and sometimes we put music cues in our scripts, but then we talked to, was it a music supervisor that we talked to?
Yeah, Leslie, we talked to,
just like about music, that process. But yeah, now you're making me think about editors, like when you, I mean, I guess I don't know if you have, because I guess you haven't done anything in film necessarily, but like even for some TV scripts, right, there might be like a music cue from a writer or something, and it like, will you listen to that first? Do you consider that? Or if you listen to the song, but then you're just like, I don't think this works for the scene, and then you change the song, or like, I don't know, it's kind of interesting to think like who gets the final say on the music for a given scene.
For TV shows, it's 100%. It comes down to budget for sure.
Yeah.
Also, but it will be the showrunner. They get the final say. But if for us, like we get songs scripted all the time, and we will always try to use the scripted song first. If we cut it in, it's not vibing well, maybe we'll pull our own and try to see if that's selling better. But we'll always show the producer their pick, or the writers their pick first. The Nobody Wants This, Francis and the Light song, nothing was scripted, but it said something sexy and like sensual, and like, so they gave you a description of the type of cue they were looking for there, but not a specific cue, which helped. I think I had originally cut that scene before my editor and cut in Cannon's Fire for You. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that song.
I don't know.
And it did this really nice thing. Francis is much better, but you know, that's just taking what is scripted and trying to translate it yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes music supervisors will send the scripted songs. Like if there's songs specifically in the script, they'll send those through to post-production.
I wanted to ask too, how many takes do these shows have? I'm just curious. Probably more than I can imagine, like per scene or
Well, it really depends on the director. It's 100% on the director. So in TV, it's very different than film, where the film will have one director who controls the whole thing. TV, you have almost a different director for every episode. A lot of the shows are like block shooting, so sometimes the director will do 2 episodes. But it really depends on the director, because sometimes not even takes will have setups. And I've had one director who gave, so it's letters, and it's like no letter A, B, C, D, E, F. I've had like down to L, or like it's gotten a lot.
Yeah. Run out of letters.
I would say the normal amount of setups is about 6 setups with about, not all of them will have this many takes, but like 5 feels like the norm.
Okay.
Some of them will have more, some of them will have less.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, clarifying question. Is the one take just like one camera angle on a scene, or are there multiple camera angles?
Yes.
Because I'm like thinking about when you see different perspectives.
So it's funny that they call it a single cam comedy, because it is not a single cam. So one setup and one take of each setup. So each setup is like generally 3 cameras, and they are doing, the setup is doing the same thing. Each camera has their own specific thing that they're doing for each of those setups. And then a different setup those cameras will move. But each take in that one setup those cameras will be doing the same thing, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, that's so much to think about.
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain this, and I'm like, I don't know if that made sense.
No, but yeah, it's funny to me too, because I'm thinking about how our brains maybe work so differently when we're like being creative, because it's like a different, it just makes me think about when I'm kind of curious too, like at what point do you read a script for? I'm assuming you read a script, right? Like, do you get the scripts of the episodes before you edit them, so that you read them, and then do you get the dailies, and then you go through, I guess, in Avid it has everything like broken down by dialogue, like you're saying.
Once we're on a show, we get every version of a script, so even like every revision of a script. And I will, especially if it's like our episode, I will read it. I don't know that I read all the revisions. I'll see it. Sometimes they send the pages and show the revisions, and I'll read what the changes were. But yeah, I will, for our episodes, I always read the script, and love to see what we're dealing with, what footage we possibly could be getting. Sometimes we'll start thinking about music too when we're reading a script. We'll be like, what songs could be good here?
Are you in the same, like in modern times, is there an editing room, or is it all virtual now?
Right now I have not worked in office since Chad was the one and only show I worked.
Because I was wondering, like how it is to collaborate with people virtually.
So basically it's like this, we're in a meeting room like this, where they can also see the feed of like the cut. It's not the best, but it could be worse. And sometimes a lot of these directors just want to give written notes. It really depends. It really depends on the director. Some of them love being collaborative and sitting in the room and like the room and, doing it that way. Some want to just watch it, you send their notes, and then maybe they'll watch the changes or walk through after that. But it just depends on who you get. Yeah. Especially some of these directors are very, very busy. Like they'll come and direct an episode of our show, and then next week they've got to start prepping for a different show that they're going to work on. So
that sounds stressful.
Yeah,
I would think that would be nerve-wracking too, though. I think I'd be nervous to be like, I don't know, showing the director their like the cut and then having to like take notes.
Yeah, it's when I did it on Nobody Wants This, it was definitely very nerve-wracking, especially because you got to be fast on how you're editing, because you know, you don't want to seem like you're incompetent or like, and I'm like, oh my God, but I think I did all right. And thankfully the director I worked with was lovely. And she didn't really have that many notes for us, which was nice. Like when it works out.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm curious too, just do rom-coms like have a different editing style than other genres? If you can think like, are there any characteristics of editing a rom-com?
I mean, so comedies in general, like you want things to be tight. Like you want it to be quick. You don't want anything to lag. You want it to move. Working on Nobody Wants This, we were definitely like, it's still a comedy. So the real comedy parts of it, you still want it to be tight. You want it to move. But like when you get to the romance, like I'll go back to this episode 2, the kiss, like there is a lot of space and breathing room that you want to give to the moment and just like looks off the faces that you don't necessarily do in a comedy. Like you'll get a quick reaction in a comedy, but like the building of, you know, maybe the eyes moving or like moving in closer or cutting back and forth and really giving the space to build attention. I think that's the biggest difference between a rom-com and just a straight comedy.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I can like picture that as you're saying that. It's kind of like a
dance. Yeah, it is like a dance. And like I remember, so I cut the first version of that kiss and I remember being like, this is gonna be the world's longest kiss. It will get cut down, I'm sure. It did not get cut down. It is still a very long kiss.
Amazing.
I was like, you almost, it's the first kiss. You want it to pay off. You want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
And as like a rom-com fan, I was like, this is what I would want to see.
Yeah. That's so fun. You got to edit the kiss.
Yeah, that's iconic.
I obviously, like the editor I work with, he then went in and changed it. But you know, it's pretty similar to what and I feel very fortunate that he gives me the opportunity to do something like that. Mm-hmm. Like he went in and put in the song and he changed angles a little here and there, but still really cool that I get to take a first crack at it or, you know, see what I can do to it. And it was just a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is so fun to just kind of hear how like the editing process is so creative, just in a different way where, you kind of get just to build a scene and make them linger how long you want them to linger or just speed it up and make it like, all right, they kissed, bye.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's always cool to like get, you know, as the editors get the first pass at it, regardless of if it lives or not. It's always cool to be like, I got to take my first crack at it. And sometimes like I'll cut a scene just for fun. Like if I have some downtime and my editor's working on the same scene, I'll cut a scene and I'll just want to see how we both cut it differently.
Yeah,
like both are good.
Really interesting. Yeah,
but different. And then also just being like, so why did you make that choice? And like, why did I make this choice? And it's just cool to see how the same footage can bring two completely different things.
Yeah, you're bringing in different details. I'm thinking of like Pride and Prejudice with like, and everyone talks about like the hand clench that like, I don't know, like that was probably, I guess, an editing decision.
Maybe. And yeah, and I mean, 100, like it's all collaborative. Like it's how they shot it and then how you interpreted the footage to be able to put it together. So.
Do you ever have trouble like turning off your editor brain when you watch TV or movie?
All the
I imagine you would get like annoyed or like be like, you know, watching something and analyzing
all
it.
The time. It's honestly a little frustrating. Like I don't watch TV when I'm working. I'll watch reality. I will watch something other than because my brain can't do that. But ADR is maybe the thing that bothers me the most is when I can, it's very clearly VO that was added and it's something I can always hear.
For our listeners, can you explain what ADR is?
Yeah. So it's basically, it depends on it's usually a line that's written after it's shot. So it's usually on someone's back, but it's a line that's been added for context or for creative reasons. It's just a line that's been added in post shoot. Mm-hmm. And usually you can't match exactly what was shot in the day. So it's very obvious to me that, you know, that line was ADR or that line was added in. And I can get it. I get the reasons why people like to add ADR. I feel like sometimes people go a little overboard on adding because I can always notice it. I don't know if everyone else notices it.
Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know if I have noticed it. Now I will.
I don't know.
Like,
Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't know. Would you say most like episodes of television we see have that?
Yes.
Okay. Then
Yes.
maybe I'll start looking for
now I'm
it.
like,
And I'll literally look at my husband if we're watching TV and I go, ADR. I'll be like, that's ADR.
Okay,
I was like,
yeah.
I'm like probably so annoying to watch anything with. I was watching the Melissa McCarthy reboot of Ghostbusters,
Oh, I
and
haven't- okay.
there was like a screen in the background that was a blue screen that they just didn't fill,
What?
which I don't think most people would notice. I literally had to rewind and be like, what is this? I was like, what is this?
Oh, yeah. You notice all the details.
Yeah.
Well, because I have to for my job. I need to make sure I catch things like that. So like my eye is always looking for it.
Mhm.
It does make it tough. I can be taken out if the story is really good and I can just get into it. I can be taken out.
Yeah, I guess as writers, I'm always like, I know what plot point we're on. I guess
Right,
I'm
yeah, I
like,
was
kind of
gonna
thinking
say,
about
that's
that.
what I
I'm
struggle
like,
with.
not to worry. There's only 20 more minutes. We're at like plot point 2.
And I've had to like keep my mouth shut because it depends. If especially if it's like my siblings or something, I'm like, I know what's gonna happen, like blah blah, and they're like, how did you know? And I'm like, isn't it not obvious?
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I kind of forget. Maybe we do have more like insights as to like what will happen.
Right, yeah, I know. I've learned to just like.
Well,
keep my
especially
mouth
with
shut.
tropes, you always kind of know where they're going to
Yeah,
go.
of course.
So
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blessing and a curse.
I was trying, like, I remember being in theater watching The Proposal like years ago when that movie
Love.
came out, and like Betty White like collapses, and I literally look at my friend in the theater. I go, "She's faking it. She's trying to get them back together." And she goes, "No way!" I was like, "Just wait," and then that happens, and then
Totally.
I'm like, "How do you know?" It's like it was like so obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I
maybe
agree.
to like us, but
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, is it just because we all like work in film?
I've seen enough rom-coms. You know, it's at a certain point you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, that's gonna happen.
There wouldn't be
Right.
like a really sad death at the end of a rom-com, I don't think.
Marley and Me. I don't know if that's necessarily a
gosh,
rom-com,
Marley
but
and
that
Me.
movie is
That
sad.
one is any dog movie is heart-wrenching. So. Yeah.
I left that theater in tears.
That one is the book too. I read it was so sad.
Yeah, I didn't read the book, so I was not prepared. I was like, surely they won't kill the dog.
No.
I
I
really
never watched that, but I think it's also
Yeah.
because I lost both my dogs around that time.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
just
was
too
like, I
painful.
can't. I already know what this movie is going to be about.
Mhm.
Good movie,
Yeah.
just definitely not one I revisited ever again.
I wouldn't do it. It's too upsetting.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now preparing for rapid fire questions.
What is your favorite rom-com and why?
It's such a tough question because there's so many good ones, and I unfortunately am not going to pick a good one. I mean, it's good to me, but it's definitely not top tier. But She's the Man. It's
Oh
one of those
my God, I
movies.
love
No, that
She's
is
the
top
Man.
tier.
Okay, fine.
not top
But it's one
tier.
of those movies I go back to and will watch and just laugh at every time. I
I just
love
saw it's on Hulu now, and I was like, oh my God, yes. She's the
it's
man.
the
I feel like
music
it's one
too
of the
in
best
that movie.
comedies.
So good.
Yeah.
But
I
Channing
completely
Tatum,
agree.
peak Channing Tatum. Like,
Seriously, oh my gosh, that is top tier movie.
Okay.
No, it's one of the best comedies, and Amanda Bynes is just like the best
Yeah,
comedian of
I-
our time.
do you feel bad that Unfortunate felt like that was the movie that was like her breaking point because she got,
Yeah,
Oh right, yeah.
I feel
Did
real bad
things
about
go
that,
downhill
but
after that?
great
Yeah.
movie.
it was a great
know.
movie.
And a
We love
sporty
the
rom-com. Love a
The
sporty
screenwriters too. We've been like chasing him down for a while to try to
Yeah.
get him on the show.
Oh man. Okay, well if you ever do, let me know.
Okay,
Okay.
we will.
What is your favorite, I guess, rom-com trope to edit?
To edit. So I love like a slow burn. So like I feel like the closest trope to that would be like Friends to Lovers, right?
Okay.
Anything that has this nice slow burn, and it feels the most realistic. Like the other tropes, like a fake dating plot. Like what? Who's fake dating? You tell me
Like
someone
time
who
for that
fake
right
date.
now.
Yeah, you tell
Oh,
me
no,
someone who
yes.
fake dated someone and became like in a relationship after that.
Well,
I'll
I
show
would
you a
argue
liar.
That's what situationships are these days.
Oh.
Is one of you is being
That's
fake.
That's a deep answer as well, or deep commentary on
As
that.
you said that, I was like, I feel like I have been fake dated by someone that pretends.
It's
to
not.
be
You don't
dating
go into it be like you're gonna be my like beard.
Yeah,
me. Yeah.
like it just happens, but it's not like intentional at
Yeah,
first.
the head to that. So like a Friends of Lovers feels like the most realistic of. I feel like of the tropes to me, and I think a realistic rom-com is always the most fun because you want something that you can like fantasize about, something that you think you can have. That's always like what you want in a rom-com.
I can see how that would be fun to edit because you're probably getting to like ahead of like the audience. I don't know, you are building for the audience the like lingering eye contact,
right?
The like
and that's what like nobody wants. This was a little bit like they were friends for like a minute.
Yeah.
It didn't like last very long.
That's true.
Do you have a favorite rom-com outfit?
I was thinking about this. An outfit specifically, I don't know if there's like one, but like anything Jenna Rink put on her 30-year-old self body as her 13-year-old is iconic. Like any of those outfits that she wore. I know that the one that's the most iconic is like that Thriller dress that she wears, but I think just any of those outfits, she looks ridiculous as like this business 30-year-old wearing like 13-year-old clothes. So
they're making a reboot of that. I think they've already filmed it.
They've already filmed it?
I think.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, mixed emotions.
We'll see. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not.
Yeah, the best reboot. I liked Freakier Friday.
I did too.
Yeah,
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, that one was shockingly good.
It didn't give me an existential crisis. I was like, if Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, I love it.
So true. Just put Jamie Lee in everything.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I liked Chad Michael Murray coming back.
Yeah, no, that one I've seen twice and like it didn't make me upset. So
I was so pleasantly surprised with that movie.
Yeah. I guess I could see myself watching that again. I've only seen it once, but yeah, I could see if I was on an airplane and it was an option.
Yeah, because on the show, we tend to get upset by some of the reboots that they keep announcing. Yeah. But
I did not see The Devil Wears Prada 2 yet.
I haven't seen it. Yeah, it's on.
That was
Hulu
a
now
difficult
too,
watch for me.
It was a hard watch.
I really didn't like it.
Oh no!
But I
wanted
wanted
to
to
watch it then.
About it, so
yeah, you guys should watch it. Let me know what you think.
Okay. No, you scared me a little bit.
Because
I love the first one.
I love the first one so much.
Okay. Do you have a favorite rom-com line or moment?
Yeah. Yes. And again, this is in the same, like, it feels like the same, like, vein as the She's the Man kind of tier of rom-coms that I love, but it's, Waiting for You is like waiting for rain in this drought, useless and disappointing.
Amazing.
That's like Aviva's favorite quote.
I love that line. Also, did you know we had the screenwriter on the show?
For Cinderella Story?
Yes.
That's amazing. I did not know that. That's amazing.
Yeah, watch it. Everybody should watch it.
That's like I think that's up there in my rom-coms like list. I love that movie.
I love it so much.
Same. I meant to text you actually yesterday, Aviva, because it rained in Santa Monica. Was that yesterday or 2 days ago? I can't remember.
I think it was yesterday.
It's been so freaking hot here. I literally went and just stood outside just to like feel the rain, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I thought about that quote.
And then you blast Hilary Duff, "Come Clean." And you're in your own little rom-com.
And then I need Chad Michael Murray to show up outside my door.
And you know what? In Santa Monica, it's possible.
Yeah, honestly, maybe in Venice, but...
Yeah.
Oh my god, I would love to see him.
That's so funny.
Okay, next question. Have you seen any rom-coms that you'd recommend?
So I was thinking about this as well, and honestly, it's so sad. I don't think I've seen any actual rom-coms recently. I know the... Voice Notes from Isabel is on my list, that Netflix rom-com. I've heard that was pretty good. I have not gone around to it yet. But I've been really into these like YA prime romance shows that are not necessarily rom-coms, but they're like rom-drams. Mm-hmm. But oh my god, Sterling Point binged in one day.
I'm watching that now. I'm on episode 3.
Oh, so good. So it's created by Megan Park, who also created My Old Ass. She was a writer-director of My Old Ass. And that movie's so good. Yeah. Sad, but so good.
I'm a big Megan Park fan.
Wait, what is Sterling Park? Wait,
she came a long way from Grace from Secret Life of the American Teenager.
Wait, what were you asking, Isabel?
What is
the show?
Point? Yeah.
What is it about? It's like a coming of age, basically.
Yeah.
And set in Canada, like this group of like teenagers on the cusp of like adulthood are like, you know, she finds out she like has a living grandfather that she didn't know, or he died and like left her this like island in Canada.
Yeah.
And she like might have a sister.
Yeah, that's
Like
what I know
Katie's-
at this point. She knows that like she got a letter from her like deceased grandfather that she didn't know he, you know, she didn't know him. And yeah, no, I like the vibes. I like the island vibes. Like you can't get to the mainland like by driving, so you have to like take a boat. She has to like take a boat every time to get to the mainland.
The boat lesson was probably one of the funnier scenes. Did you get to that where
I
she's
don't know if I've been there yet. Does he teach her how to use the boat?
No, there's Una teaches her how to drive a boat, and it's really funny. She's like it's like this boat that has a handle that you like go like this, and you have to like turn it like, and she goes, have you ever given a hand job? And she's like, it's kind of like that.
Maybe I did see that. Yeah.
And then the boat
like
just starts.
This is YA.
Yeah.
I mean, not family friendly.
Yeah. But also Off Campus was great. Really enjoyed that one as well.
I loved Off Campus. Yeah. Speaking of fake dating.
That, and again,
Oh,
not
yeah,
real. But
no,
he was in love with her
realistic.
from the minute he couldn't have her. So
I loved it. Amazing.
But the music in that show specifically is, I think, done so well.
For Off Campus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I've been listening to so many songs from that soundtrack. It was really good.
It's funny because it's a lot of songs that were on like my playlist, and I'm like, did someone hack my Spotify? Like,
it's amazing.
You got Remy Wolf, you got The Beaches. I was like, someone just took my playlist.
I love the Love Is a Hopeless thing. Is that what it's called? That was a really good one.
Yeah, there was some good music on that show.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like music's important for rom-coms, and I feel like people forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the music supervisor episode we did, we were talking to her about like bringing back like the movie soundtrack and how those were so sought after, you know, when a good movie came out, and then you'd also go and like you'd buy the CD for the movie soundtrack.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm still a big person who will go on Spotify and find a soundtrack of a show or a movie. But actually, it's funny, I was running this morning on the treadmill, and Hear You Me by Jimmy Eat World came on.
Oh my god.
And I was like,
throwback.
Speaking of the drought line. Oh my, I discover my favorite songs through movies and shows. I would say probably that's like the main avenue of discovery for me. So
that's a good way.
I do feel like the OC is how I got into a lot of the like indie artists that I still listen to today.
Bring back the time where they like Off Campus did this. They brought Remy Wolf, but like bring back the time where they would bring bands onto an episode of a show and they'd be like performing.
When Rooney was on the OC.
I love that.
Yeah.
I get a little annoyed, like side thing, that like some shows, I love pop music, but like certain shows, I feel like they could take a few more risks, like introducing us to new songs.
For sure.
And not just being like, I mean, I love Taylor Swift. It's so exciting, but I'm like, I feel like, yeah, there's like opportunity for more innovation.
Is that Summer I Turned Pretty reference?
Yes, exactly. Love that show, but it's like, okay, we know these songs.
I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, so like anytime a song comes like on during that show, I'm like, it takes me out a little bit because
I feel like
you're heavy-handed in one genre and one person, one artist specifically.
They're trying to like cut emotional corners. It feels like almost more like the writing should do it, and then the song like enhances it.
Yeah. For sure, yeah.
If money didn't matter, what's a movie that you'd want or a rom-com that you'd make? I guess if you could be involved in a rom-com project, what would be your ideal project?
I mean, listen, I think nobody wants this. Like season 1 was like my ideal show that I would have ever wanted to work on. So the fact that I got to work on that was amazing. And I think anything like that, like I would cut Off Campus, let me on that second season. I would cut Sterling
They're filming it now, apparently.
Actually, I do know a friend of a friend who's cutting it, and I'm like, God damn it. But they're in Canada. Yeah, they're in Canada, though.
Oh, okay. Gotta move to Canada.
I think I have, my grandfather was Canadian, so maybe I can get some citizenship there.
Maybe, yeah.
It's a movie plot in itself.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to write my experience of trying to get citizenship to Canada to work on film. And then
that will become the rom-com that you edit.
I love it. yeah, just to wrap it up, what are you working on next, and how can we contact you?
Yeah.
Follow you.
How can we stalk you online?
Yeah, how can
Yes.
we
Stalk me everywhere. No, I'm just wrapped on the second season of Stick. So that comes out on Apple TV, I think, in the fall. I don't think there's a date release for it yet. At least I don't know, but sometime in the fall, maybe October. And hopefully I'm interviewing to work on a couple of short films. Hopefully I get one of those. Like YA, like rom-com, rom-dram. And you can find me on Instagram. My Instagram is @CatClout. My everything is @CatClout. So, and yeah, I'm on IMDb, I guess, too, as Catherine Cloutier, if you want my full name.
Can people leave reviews can I leave you a review on your IMDb? This is so new to me. I didn't realize people left reviews.
I don't know, but you should actually try it on my IMDb. See, I don't know if you can do it on people. I know you can do it on shows.
What episode was it you edited of?
Yeah, everyone rewatched the episode.
Episode 8.
Episode 8. Okay, very cool.
Season 1, episode 8. It's called Rebecca's Box. Give it 10 stars.
This has been an episode of When Isabel Met Aviva.
If you want to stay up to date with our episodes, please subscribe. Bonus points if you leave us a positive review.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Threads @When Isabel Met Aviva. See you next time.